everyone.
Welcome back to our channel.
The Parchment Fam.
So tonight we got another video for you guys. This one we
as you can see by the title.
Yeah, we're just gonna share a little story here, give you a little encouragement and advice as well, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
If that's what you call it. I don't call it advice. Yeah. Okay.
So you're gonna start.
You want me to start? Okay. So as you can tell by the title, we're gonna be giving our testimony. We have been saying in our videos that we are believers and we trust God in everything. So tonight we're just gonna share our experience, our experience.
Your experience. It's our experience.
Yeah, our experience with just how powerful prayer can be, and that it actually works for for those of you who don't believe in prayer. It actually works, and we're just giving you our experience and our testimony of it.
Yeah, pretty much. And the thing, some people pray and they think they're gonna pray today and something happens tomorrow. That's not how it works. You just gotta keep on praying. You gotta keep on push on.
And then sometimes you just have to press harder.
You just have to pray harder.
You might think you're doing enough,
but it's just not enough.
Yeah, we're here to tell you that it's not enough.
Yeah, and also you just have to not just pray. You have to do things in the natural as well.
Yes, you have to do your part.
You have to do your part as well.
So let's
faith,
begin.
Prayer, and doing things in the natural as far as to get to where you want to. You can't just sit around and expect something's gonna happen, and you're not just gonna pray and it happens. No, you just gotta do things in the natural as well.
So let's see, where do we begin?
I would say we would begin with some stuff we were going through.
A little backstory, so you could see.
Yeah, so pretty much I would say it's been like 2 years. No, I would say a year and change. A year plus. Yeah, so like a year and change since my wife, she's been looking for.
Well, no, a year. Well, for me, ever since I had our second child, which is now 3, I've been trying to do something like a work from home situation, because I know it wasn't feasible for me to go back out to work. So yeah, I've been trying since then, to get something, and the timing wasn't right either. The timing wasn't right. So that's another thing that we're going to talk about when it comes to prayer. Sometimes it's just not the right timing. But anyway, so yeah, I've been looking for something to work from home from, she was a baby, now she's 3. Then I had another baby, and she's a little bit over a year. And at one point I stopped looking and just decided to just go with the flow and
see what happens.
Yeah. And then eventually I started to look again, because of our situation. I'm like, we need both incomes, especially after my husband lost his job before I got pregnant. Well, around the time I got pregnant. Yeah,
it was the same time. So basically, yeah, just to pretty much put a little bit more clarity on what we're trying to say to you. I was working. I was pretty much the sole provider for the home. Everything was going fine at the time, but having a second income would make it even better at the time. Yeah. So my wife was trying to get like a job to work from home. I mean, you weren't desperately seeking at the time.
Yeah. So that's why I said I stopped after a while, because.
But yeah, after I lost my job, then pretty much things started going down a little bit, and then I got another job which pretty much wasn't
like a
steady.
Flex,
it was on and off. It wasn't a steady job, and that's something that you can't really rely on too much. So having something having a little backup would be the best thing to do. So that's what we were trying to do. My wife was trying to get something
so
from
ever
home.
Since then I've been trying to just get something to do from home, because now I have 2 kids. You can't put 2 babies in daycare. That's gonna, might as well I don't work, because I'll just work to pay daycare, and then trust issues, and I wouldn't be comfortable with it anyways. So getting something to do from home would be ideal, where you know, something that's not gonna be affected by the kids. You know, maybe I could work on the computer, stuff like that. So I've been trying to find that since then.
Yeah, I would say for the past 2 years to make it officially, since you started looking officially. 2 years. Yeah, and nothing happened.
Nothing.
I was doing what I was doing. It was on and off. It wasn't steady. I would say
December, like around
November last year. Yeah, since November last year, nothing's been really going on as far as work-wise. Like everything toned all the way down leading up to 2020. 2020 started, same thing. Everything was pretty much stagnant, no works.
And then this crisis
and then this
right
thing
now
started right now, where we are seeing. I would backtrack a little bit before this thing started. I remember we were here laying in the bed one night, and my wife was on the phone, and I'm saying, like, pretty much, I think God wants us to do something.
Yeah, he was trying to get our attention.
I said to her, like, I think something's there, but we gotta pray harder. Because we were praying, but not enough, and we weren't praying together as a couple.
I would pray by myself, he would pray by himself,
and we pretty much wouldn't know when each other was praying. Yeah. She prays by herself, I pray by myself.
And then we would never get together and say, okay,
we
as a couple, as a family,
yeah,
we're gonna pray together. And over the years, that's something that I desire to do, but I guess it just never happened. And now, like, we were put in a situation where it's like almost like we had no choice.
Yeah, it's like we ran out of options.
Yeah,
the only thing we could turn to was prayer.
Yeah, it's like when you cannot do anything, when you can't do it yourself anymore, it's like you just turn to God, and it's like,
yeah, because I remember we were there, and we pretty much have faith. We believe in God. We're always in expectation, but there comes a time when you have no control over something anymore. You just gotta leave it to God. There's nothing you can do about it anymore.
And then we weren't doing our part by praying as hard as
we should be.
Like, we knew we were just like lackadaisical.
Yeah, we believe in God. We trust God that something's gonna happen, but we weren't doing our part. Yeah. That's the thing. We weren't doing our part. And then I remember the night I said to my wife that I think we need to pray harder and pray together.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember saying that, and we did. We started the first night I prayed. I'm not sure. I pretty much don't know what it is or something. But whenever I pray, something happens, and I always see something in my dream or something. I don't know how to explain it or what
it's
that is. Maybe somebody out there who knows all that can explain it to me or something. But
like, that's your calling.
I don't
just
know
haven't
what
walked
it is,
into it yet.
I see if I pray, if it's either something happens or I go to bed and I dream something that pretty much I couldn't see it, but in my dream it appears. And then I remember I had a dream that night, and I told my wife about the dream. When I told my wife about the dream, I said, something's there. Remember? I said, something's there, and we gotta pray harder. Remember?
Yeah.
And I got up that morning, my wife started the prayer, and I told her she's gonna pray first, and then I pick up. So she started, I picked up. As soon as I picked up, that was a hard prayer that morning, I remember.
Warfare, we call it warfare.
Yeah, it was a warfare. And we just had to fight.
So,
yeah, we just had to fight, and we knew we were gonna come out victorious. That morning I prayed. It was the hardest. I'm not sure if it was the hardest prayer I prayed, but that's how I pray sometimes. But I remember when I prayed that morning, that same day, stuff started to happen. Positive stuff, nothing negative stuff. Things started to move
the first thing that happened
in the right direction. You got a job offer, pretty much.
Well, it was the offer or the interview?
The thing is, pretty much we were applying for jobs, not hearing nothing back. And then that day, my wife started getting replies. Yeah, the entire week.
In that one
for
week,
the entire
I had
week,
3 interviews.
She had a few interviews.
Like I just because know that my daughter is older. I decided that okay, it's time maybe I could branch out and maybe go out and not just look solely for work from home jobs. So I was actually applying to other jobs now, and we're like, you know what, we're gonna leave to God, and God's gonna align our schedule, because we're like, okay, in order for this to work, one of us has to work night, one of us has to work day, and we were just trusting God that He's gonna align our schedule. So we were just applying for jobs, both of us. I would apply for night job, day job, you would apply for day job, night and night job also. So in that week when we prayed together, I got like I did 3 different interviews. One where I went in, one was over the computer, and then another one was actually just over the phone, and it's like a freelance position. So I actually got that job, you know, whenever, and that was like a flexible job, so that would work with our schedule. So we were like, okay, we know something else is on the horizon. That's just not it. And
yeah, I remember I remember my wife, I think it was the same day or another day, we were talking about something, and I'm saying, that's not it. I think something bigger is. I think something else is there. That's not it.
Yeah.
I just have that feeling that was not it. And it was like a few days, maybe 4 days later, I got a phone call. Pretty much, I always ignore calls that whenever I don't know the phone number, I always ignore them. That day, pretty much, I saw the phone ringing, answered the phone, boom, I got a job.
I got a job. Come in the next day.
They told me, hey, go in the next day for like an interview or a walkthrough or something.
Because he didn't
even do an interview. I got a job, pretty much a good paying job, and it's overnight, so my wife can do what she gotta do in the daytime.
So then now we're like, okay, we're just waiting on the interviews that I did for those to kick in. And then everything came down with the whole crisis right now.
Yeah, and then after this thing broke out, then we were saying, hey, maybe that's why my wife wasn't hearing back anything.
Yeah, but from those jobs. And then
at the end of the day.
Yeah, but then before we reach that, another thing is we're at this point now, I'm saying, but why this thing come now when we're trying to get our life back on track? You know, things is starting to get moving, the ball is starting to get rolling, because I haven't had interviews in a while, and I was getting interviews, and now all the companies are closing down and stuff like that, so nobody's gonna try to hire. People are firing people right now. So yeah, that's what I was saying. But then, you know, I was like, something's still there. But then, you know what, we stopped. I didn't think we prayed again after that together. Like, that was the one time that we did.
Yeah,
we didn't pray again. And then
we prayed, but not like that.
Not like that.
Not like that. Yeah. Morning. That morning I did something different.
And then one night I said to my husband, I was like, why did we stop praying like that? You know, we can seize. You know, not because you might got a job offer or whatever the case is. There's still more
we
to accomplish.
Seize, but we weren't doing it
I'm saying that we're seized, but like I would pray, you would pray, but like that fervent prayer that we did that morning,
and the
like
power that we put in the prayer.
But we still needed to keep up the momentum, no matter what. Even if we have the best jobs in the world, no matter what. Like I'm like, we still need to do that. So it was the next morning, right? That we prayed again.
It was. I remember it was like 2 days before something happened in the house. Remember?
Yeah.
Something happened in the house, and I pretty much, when that happened, on my mind, I'm saying, I don't like it. Something happened and I didn't like it.
Yeah. So we prayed again.
I remember the morning I got up, I said to my wife that something's gotta happen with whatever happened that night. I'm like, no, I'm not comfortable with that. I gotta do something. Got up that morning. I prayed. No, backtrack a little bit. The job offer I got, I was supposed to start
the 31st.
The 31st of this month, and
it was after we prayed.
So that morning, I prayed. It was recently, so I wasn't satisfied with what I saw happen that night. I woke up the morning, I told my wife that I'm gonna do something again. I'm gonna do it the same way I prayed the last time. I'm gonna do it again. And I got up, did the same thing. Not even 20 minutes later, I got an email with her.
20 minutes, because you remember you drove.
Yeah, I would say
probably an hour.
Yeah, not an hour. It's less than that, because it was a little bit. I would say within 40 minutes. Yeah, around 40 minutes time, I got an email with earlier start date, pretty much. And then the same, like up 2 days later or a day later, my wife got a.
Yeah, I applied for another, like I applied for a work from home job because I'm like, this is not gonna cut it. I can't, like, it's not possible for me to go out with everything that's going on. So I saw a job that was hiring work from home, and I applied, and they kept sending me assessments and stuff like that for me to do, and I did all the assessments. And then it was like 2 days later that, you know, they sent me their their conditional offer with the stuff that I need to do and stuff like that. It was two or 3 days.
I wouldn't say 2 days. It was like
it was like
a day later.
No, it wasn't a day because the other day they sent me the assessment.
We prayed Thursday in the morning. You did the application.
Yeah, but Thursday then they sent me the assessment.
And yesterday was Friday, so it's a day later.
Yeah, but I did the application like I think I did the application before we prayed. That's the thing.
Yeah, probably.
The application was done before we prayed, but then the whole process lined up after.
I would say within 3 days you got the job.
Yeah. No interview and anything.
Including the day you applied for the job.
Yeah.
3 days. Yeah.
And the thing is, like, in the midst of all of this, people are losing their jobs. People are getting laid off. Businesses are closing. The jobs that we got are jobs that are not impacted by this. These are the companies that are still in high demand right now.
Yeah, and the thing is, it's not, I would say it's permanent job. They're good paying jobs, pretty much, and like, they're pretty much paying better than the jobs we applied for previously, because we were just trying to get something fast.
It's like something, we just wanted something,
in the midst of all the delays and the disappointments that we had before, we got better than we expected.
And it's just to show you the timing.
Yeah, sometimes
if we had gotten like say I had gotten one of the offers, if I gotten an offer from one of the other jobs, like I wouldn't be able to go to those jobs because we're on everyone's on lockdown.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to go to those jobs, and my husband's gonna be working at night because it's an overnight job that he's doing, and he'll be able to be with the kids in the day while I give my undivided attention to the work that I'm going to be doing. Because not because I'm working from home, that doesn't mean that I'll have a time for the kids. So he'll be able to do that, and that's why we're like, the timing is just perfect. Like, my daughter is old enough to branch out on her own before she would need me like every so often, because she's exclusively breastfed, but now she's over a year, so she's eating and she doesn't need me as much. So that's why, like, when I say timing, if I'd gotten a job even when she was younger, maybe it wouldn't work out because she wasn't staying with anyone.
At the time I was working in the daytime.
Yeah, so it's like, when we remember when I said we knew that God would align everything, like, it worked out perfectly. My husband got an overnight job that's not affected by all this. I got a work from home job in the day that's not affected by all that's going on.
Yeah, so I would say the main thing we learned from this, with all the delays, the disappointments, during those times we looked at it as disappointments, delays. It was depressing, it was confusing. We're humans, we believe, but at the same time, your mind's gonna play your mind plays a big part.
That's the biggest warfare.
Yeah, it's just the biggest warfare. Your mind is always on something, and sometimes doubt comes to your mind, and I would say it's a lot of stuff that comes to your mind.
I was actually diagnosed with postpartum depression.
So sometimes I'm telling you, disappointments, delays. It's hard to explain, but in the moment it seems like it's the worst thing that could happen to you, but I'm telling you, it's like
a good way to put it is like someone losing their job and then they end up becoming a millionaire because they lost their job.
Yeah,
something like that. You never see the purpose of whatever you're going through, but one day you look back and say, oh, I had to go through that for this to happen.
Yeah, I would say it's just what's destined for you. You'll get it if you work hard and you pray and you stay a true believer and you believe in God. But patience is another thing. that's a key.
Yeah. Some of the things
Patience.
that we go through, you know,
If it
we're
wasn't-
learning something.
Yeah, we're learning
you know,
some
you have
things,
to,
and patience is
patience
one
is
of the
them.
big things. Patience, and you can't be making stupid decisions. Not because you're pretty much think you need something. Sometimes you just hold on and see.
We were faced
if it's
with
better.
certain decisions that we had to make. Like sometimes we were like, oh, I wonder if we're supposed to do this, and
Yeah.
wonder if we're supposed to do that, and that's where the wisdom of God comes in, because then if we made foolish decisions based on our circumstances, then later we'll regret it, and we didn't consult God before. It's like, oh, should I do this that way? Should I do, you know, what is your will for us?
Mm-hmm. And so I would say delays, disappointments, a lot of times it's for your own good. In the moment it seems like it's the worst thing, because that's how I felt, but you never know what's on the other side of the door. So you just gotta be patient, pray, stay focused, and I would say don't make stupid decisions. You know, just because you think you might be in a situation or a position.
Some people make stupid decisions and they learn from it.
Or
we've done
maybe
that.
they gotta make that decision in order to go through something, so they learn. But
you just need wisdom.
Yeah.
You know, you need wisdom.
And so at the end of the day, prayer works. Nothing beats prayer.
Yeah, we're not gonna stop
Whenever
praying,
pray,
you know,
whenever-
because
yeah,
we know
no, we
it.
never
We
stop
know it's
praying.
not
We
done
know it's
there.
not done.
Like just like as
Yeah.
before, we're like that's not it. That's not
we
only
still,
it. When like,
we
there's
still pray.
more.
We still press on.
You know?
It's better for better. You know, not you always gotta keep going for better. You can't settle. And so prayer works.
And not
keep praying if you're going through a situation.
And
your
not only
time
that,
is gonna come.
And not only that, we're talking about praying for what a particular situation and circumstance, but remember, prayer is a lifestyle. So yes, we're referencing our testimony and us praying for a particular thing, but prayer should be a lifestyle, and that's what we're trying to implement even for us, like a lifestyle where we're always together, with our family, with the kids. They see us praying all the time, because it's not just, when I need something I'm gonna run to God.
That's not it.
It's not supposed to be like that.
It's something
it should
that
be
you
a
gotta
lifestyle.
become a part of your lifestyle.
It's
something.
So don't get us wrong, because I know
it
might seem like we're saying that we just pray because we need.
No, that's not it. That's not it.
We used
We've
to
been
pray
praying
before.
long before
It's just
this,
that
and we never stopped.
Togetherness prayer that
it's just that this unified prayer, we never really did that before,
which is very important
we
in a
used
marriage.
to just pray individually, but since we unified, unity is strength, and since we unified and started to pray together, we pretty much realized it works. That's the way to go. So if you're praying for something, don't stop praying. God is gonna answer your prayer. As I said, it's been years. Years.
It's been a process.
It's been years. It's a process. Sometimes, as I said, you feel like giving up. You have doubts. You get discouraged, fear, depressed.
All kind of stuff.
All kind of stuff goes through
emotions.
your mind. So just keep praying. Don't stop praying.
Keep praying.
God's listening. He's just making a way for you. He's just making the way, and the right moment and time will come. So that's the end of the story for tonight. We have more stories.
Please keep safe in all this that's going on.
Pretty much we have stories, but this is just a small portion of what we had to share tonight. But we have to get it to fit in a certain time frame, so we just had to get to the point. But
we did not get to the point, so I don't know what you're talking about.
Well, sometimes at least they get a part of the story.
They get what they need to get from it.
So stay focused, keep praying,
be safe.
Be safe. Thank you for watching. Bye.
Bye.